Hi everyone, it's great to be here. Ben and I are very excited to talk to you about Explore Nature Journaling. I'm Marley Moyer. I've been an artist all my life, it feels, from art college in the 1970s to working at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Melbourne over the past 25 years. Firstly, illustrating for botanical publications like Flora Victoria and onto teaching adult classes in botanical and natural history art. I've worked with other science institutions too and accompanied coastal marine expeditions as an artist. One of my favourite times was heading a 10-year artist group project on art, science, history and country into arid Australia, which involved botanical collecting and documenting, and which led to a fabulous exhibition, along with a valuable plant collection, which is now housed at the National Herbarium of Victoria. And so Ben and I have teamed up to develop this online teaching package specifically designed for nature lovers and people who want greater engagement and enjoyment from their experiences out in nature, and people who want to learn more about the environment and to share their experiences travelling our vast and beautiful country. Nature journaling for adults, not just children, is fast becoming a worldwide trend, and in the United States it's so big they even have nature journaling conferences. Australia, I'm happy to say, is slowly catching up, so we want to share this wonderful activity with many other people. We're very pleased to be able to present our nature journaling resource kit to you today. Ben will now introduce himself and share with you the story of how we came to connect astronomy to geology through nature journaling in the Gene Streams Sculpture Project.
Hello, my name is Ben Beaton. I've undertaken 40 or so artist residency projects focusing on the ecology, geology and deep time history of natural systems around Australia. And in 2016, for the first time, when I was consulting with an astronomer at Uluru, I began to discover that there was ways of connecting the stories that are hidden within the night sky with the stories of Australia's ancient rocks. And I expressed this through an extension of the nature journaling process in my artworks. Nature journaling has been at the heart of all of my artist residency projects. In 2016, I undertook an artist residency at Uluru. This was the first time that I was working with astronomers as consultants for the project. My first artwork was titled Unearthing Uluru. It was looking at the deep time history, the origins of Uluru. Running parallel to that, the evolution of what I call a gene stream, that is, the history of our species through deep time. But the night sky came to play a stronger role in the artwork for the first time, and following that I undertook another project in consultation with my colleague Ben Price and in collaboration with a number of Anangu artists. We called this project Iwara of the Supercontinents, Iwara meaning tracks. That was mapping out the deep time journey that had been undertaken by the continents through the supercontinent cycle. That's the cycle in which the continents come together, form a supercontinent, break apart, and so on. So it mapped about 2 billion years of the history of plate tectonics. Following this project with one of the astronomers, I went to the local school and we introduced the children to a project. We were looking at how we could connect the night sky to the history of the rocks. We pointed out to the school children that each one of those points of light was a different distance from the Earth. And by looking at those distances from the Earth, we could consider what was happening on the Earth when the light left those points of light. The astronomer told the students that many were stars, but also many were galaxies that were far away. And then the school children undertook a project. They did the drawings of information that was relevant to the theme, and then I put it together as an interactive artwork on SciArt, my website. After this project, I began to consider how we could connect the night sky and the story of the night sky to the story of rocks in other projects. After I'd completed the residency at Uluru, I undertook a larger scale project to follow the Lewin Current down from the Kimberley to Tasmania. I had many amazing adventures following the Lewin Current down, but things changed for me once I got to Albany and started to work with Gondwana Link. It was during that time that I met Arnie Carroll Peterson, the Noongar elder, who asked me, was there a way that we could create a public art program that could connect the conservation work that organisations like Gondwanalink were doing with information about the Aboriginal cultures in different regions and the scientific work that was being done in different regions. It was soon after this that I travelled with Arnie Carroll through the wheat belt to Wave Rock, and I'd seen the documentary that had been hosted by the director of Gondwanalink called A Million Acres a Year. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you watch it. You can find a link to it on the SciArt website in the artist residency that I undertook in 2017 at Albany. I was amazed at the devastation that had occurred in the wheat belt, considering all of those amazing species that we may never know what they were. They may well have become extinct during that land clearing episode. And it was there that I decided to do what I could to undertake a project called Gene Streams, which required me to partner with a university. Now, Gene Streams is a means of using the Tree of Life simply to teach knowledge on conservation-related issues and become aware of the deep time history and connections that our species shares with all living species and extinct species. The project was undertaken at the Australian National University, where I worked for a couple of years. But I developed a range of virtual reality teaching tools, and one of those tools was a design for a phylogenetic tree that you could walk into. And that laid the foundations for the public art program. And through this time, I'd sent back to Arnie Carroll and Gondwanalink a range of designs for the sculpture, trying to think what could work. But it wasn't until we had that phylogenetic tree design where the species within the phylogenetic tree could be utilised to display artworks that we realised we had something special that would actually work for this process. I designed the sculpture so that Aboriginal artworks could be displayed on the outside. This is artworks created by Aboriginal artists of a specific region that the phylogenetic tree is based on, because we select a range of species, 15 local species, and the 16th is the humans, so that when you walk into that sculpture, you're representing the whole of humanity as one of the 16 species that is represented in this sculpture. And you can see the shared ancestry on the base plate, represented through the geological timescale that is depicted flowing through a sequence of concentric circles. Each circle represents a different period of geological time. The research for the shared ancestry of the selected species, which we use to construct a phylogenetic tree base plate on, is conducted by Gary Muir of Wow Wilderness Eco Cruises. The inside art is the field naturalist artwork. And at this point, I reached out to scientific illustrator Marley Moir, because I was hoping that Marley would come on board, because she's recognised as one of Australia's really fantastic and well-established scientific illustrators. So through this process, we undertook to create the first Gene Stream sculpture, which we installed at Twin Creeks. And following that, we went to Mount Magnet. And this was an opportunity at Mount Magnet's Astro Rocks Festival to follow through on this concept of considering how we could connect further the night sky and information on the night sky with the rocks of a region. Again, my colleague Ben Price did a range of research on the night sky and provided us with a lot of material on the deep time history of particular stars, particular constellations. We think of them as constellations. And we connected that to the age of the rocks, and we got a huge amount of information on the age of the rocks. The Aboriginal artists of the region provided us with a range of artworks, and we displayed the sculpture as an augmented reality sculpture for the first time. This is the first time we tested the augmented reality capabilities and capacities of this. And if you go to the SciArt website and go to the Mount Magnet Astro Rocks Artist Residency Project, you'll see all of that information, including a whole range of films. And during this time, Marley provided a range of workshops introducing local people to field naturalist techniques and nature journaling.
Nature journaling, field work, science documentation has been practiced throughout history, from the ancient Greeks to well-known naturalists like Charles Darwin. It's basically a diary of records on your observations at a given place and time to learn more about the natural world. For the nature-loving layperson, it offers a really wonderful way to connect with and learn more about nature. Not to mention the huge benefits of spending joyful times and for people's general well-being. Of course, as you all know, the Back to Nature movement just keeps expanding, like the wilderness therapies and like forest bathing, which encourages living in the present moment and immersing yourself in a natural setting. Nature journaling is open to all age groups, skill levels and interests, and can be as broad or specific as you like. It's the kind of journaling you do whilst on a journey of discovery, while you're exploring new places. These personal holiday journeys can be many things, from creating beautiful artistic impressions to contributing to citizen science records, or even just simple data mapping of your journey. It is an opportunity to leave the computer behind and enjoy handwriting. And hand drawing freeform is a bit of a lost art, really. It is a very effective avenue for people to observe, to see more, to see things differently, and to interact with nature for both children who have so much screen time these days and for adults who have been working hard all year in the office.
So the artwork is an extension of nature journaling, as I've said before, but this was the first time that we were using the sculpture as a means of connecting information on the night sky with information on the ancient cratons. And we sketched out, mapped out, using many, many different scientific papers, myself and my colleague Ben Price, the movement of Australia's ancient cratons around the planet, and we embedded that in the artwork. Through the process of creating the natural history art for the sculptures, Marley and I discovered that we could collaborate in creating the drawings for the species represented in the sculpture together. As you can see here, we literally drew the illustrations at the same time. We then took all of the art for the sculpture, that's all the art on the inside and the outside, and we put it all together as a mural piece which is on display at the Visitors Centre at Mount Magnet. This project is an example of how we can connect the story of the rocks with the story of the night sky with the story of the ecology of a region through a gene stream sculpture, utilising the process of nature journaling and extensions of nature journaling. And we're very interested in doing this in other projects. Most recently, myself and Marley have undertaken a mural work at Wave Rock Resort. And that mural connects the Yilgarn Craton with the history and future of the Earth, so we can reach back to the origins of the Earth, the formation of the moon. We've illustrated the giant moon of the ancient past, and then in the future envisaging the galaxy rise of Andromeda and the collision of the Andromeda galaxy with the Milky Way and the formation of a much larger supergalaxy into the far future. And all of this is about the connection of the night sky with Australia's ancient cratons, recounting the story of the supercontinents through deep time. So, as my friend Ben Price says, as above, so below, the connections of the night sky with the ancient cratons, and through nature journaling we have the capacity to explore all of the wonders of the natural world around us. If you're a fan of 2001: A Space Odyssey, in the introduction to that book, it points out that there's enough planets in the universe for every human who has ever existed to be given their own planet. That's an amazing idea. We're currently working on a project in the Kellerberrin region with Geoparks WA. Many times it has been through ecotourism businesses that I've been able to undertake these artist residency projects, which I'm very grateful for. And myself and Marley Moir have now developed a resource kit for people that are interested in nature journaling. We call this resource kit Explore Nature Journaling. It provides many, many different ways and extensions to the nature journaling concept. The objective is to provide a resource kit that is good, easy, fun for your clients of all age groups. I personally really am very, very grateful to ecotourism across Australia that has supported me through my career. And Marley and myself see this as a way of giving back to ecotourism operators and we invite ecotourism operators to become affiliated, and in that process we offer a means of ecotourism operators to make a further income as affiliates by providing patrons with a link to our resource kit. If the patrons choose to purchase the resource kit, our affiliates would receive a percentage of all of those sales. So we see it as another income stream for any ecotourism operator by simply enriching the experience of your patrons through nature journaling. Because it's through nature journaling that people become more conscientious of conservation-related issues, because they've had that immediate, intimate experience with the natural environment. I've certainly found that. If you're interested in becoming an affiliate or learning more about our program, please email us at artofnatureschool@gmail.com. To become affiliated with us is absolutely free of charge. We're very enthusiastic to develop new partnerships with ecotourism. We'd love to hear from you. We want to emphasize that the Explore Nature Journaling Resource Kit is not just for people that can draw. This is for everybody. For people that like to map out their journey, we provide further information on how you can do that. For people that like to use their phone to take photos, we provide a whole range of innovative techniques for using the camera on your phone in a whole range of new ways. And for people that have young children, young families, we consulted with my mother, Ros Beaton, who wrote the book Living Happily and Harmoniously with Young Children, on different projects that you could do with children on a range of different age groups to engage them with the nature journaling process. So this is for everyone. It keeps everyone happy and engaged through their holiday experience, through nature journaling with nature, and growing an awareness of the importance of preserving the natural world around us through an ecotourism experience. Through the process of nature journaling, people build up a connection to a place. This encourages people to return to the same place year after year, and these journals become a memory bank of interests, growing skills, observing and documenting nature, seeing how things change, and observing the cycles of nature, which occur over many years. This way, repeat holiday goers can have a continuing journal to document a lifetime of holidays in a special place. It's a continuum for families to reflect back on what did they do last year, what did they see last year, what are they seeing this year, and imagine what it might be like next year. By building up an emotional connection through observation to a place, it encourages your patrons to return through the nature journaling process. And through that immersive experience with nature and documenting nature, children and adults become more environmentally aware. This is a value add to any tourism business offering a holiday experience that allows patrons to reconnect to nature.
This is not just for artists, but for anyone who wants to engage deeper, to remember more, and cherish their holiday experience. It is a wonderful way of keeping their holiday alive long after they get home. Journaling is not just for artists, but also for people who write, who like to scribble down ideas, and even for people who just love recording numbers. Nature journaling inspires curiosity. It helps people to slow down and really connect with nature. It builds new skills through fun and easy activities. It develops creative thinking and deepens short and long-term memory. Your clients will have a wonderful memento of their time on your tour to share with their friends and family. Creating a personal book of your holiday can be such a valuable and rewarding experience for any traveler and, for any nature lover. Our Explore Nature Journaling Resource Kit is a toolbox of different techniques and approaches for people to enhance their holiday experience, to tap into new ways of seeing while exploring new places. There's approximately 6 models or chapters with about 6 5 to 20 minute film demonstrations, in conversations, materials lists, and a whole bunch of bonuses as well. Ben and I aim to keep refining and adding to the package. As we continue to travel and work ourselves, we want to share more on how people can capture their special memories and enrich their experiences in the natural world while exploring nature journaling. It's good, easy fun. Clients of all age groups. Everyone wins. Everyone can get involved and enjoy their time more, even if you don't think you can draw. There's so many ways you can keep a fabulous journal of your journey.
So this is a means to bring your patrons back year after year to your special place and continue their process of nature journaling. Myself and Marley hope that this will be an opportunity for many people around Australia whenever they go on their holiday experiences to begin to get involved in nature journaling in whatever capacity that they're interested in. So we hope you've enjoyed our presentation today. We'd love to hear from you if you're interested in becoming affiliated with what we're doing. The Explore Nature Journaling Resource Kit has huge potential to unlock a different way of experiencing and remembering an ecotourism holiday for the patron. So we'd love to hear from you, we'd love to work with you, and we look forward to a future of sharing ecotourism through nature journaling experiences with your patrons.